Hey guys, so this video is again about the application process and basically about certain miscellaneous things. So one question everyone asks is when should you send in your apps, your applications? And my answer is the first day. Okay, the reason why I'm telling you this is because a program on the first day will get hundreds of applications, okay? And what they do then after they get those applications, they put it throughout that filter that I told you about. That step 1 filter, maybe your med school, etc. They filter it out, and what happens is they make a pile, okay? They make a pile. Now, if you apply on the first day, you will have a fair chance of getting an interview, okay? If you apply on the second day, guess where your application is going? On the bottom, okay? It's going on the bottom, all right? So make sure your application is out on the first day. Now, if you apply on the second day, third day, a week in, 2 weeks in, does that mean you won't get an interview? No, you will still probably get an interview, but to get the best chance and the highest number of interviews, make sure it's out the first day, okay? And that's why, guys, it's so important to have your application complete by that time. Now, when do interviews start coming? Now, this, from my personal experience, my first interview invitation came in about 5 days, after my application went in. So, guys, don't be surprised if you're not getting an invitation the first day, second day, third day. Okay, it takes time for them to process the application, etc., and get things going. Okay, so maybe even longer than that. Okay, and interviews come throughout the entire season. You have interviews coming in October, November, December, all sorts of times of the month, and almost every single month. Now, other people ask me, should you call? And this is something I was wondering myself, is should you call each program to ask if they got your application? The answer is yes and no, okay? You have to really make a feel for the program. If you don't get a response from them after you're sending your application and you're really, really interested in that program, then you know what? Go ahead. Give a call to the program coordinator and ask the coordinator, hey, my name is, so-and-so. Have you just wanted to double check and make sure you receive my application and that it's complete, okay? A lot of these coordinators are getting dozens of phone calls a day from applicants. So when you call a coordinator and they sound a little pissed off or a little mad at you, don't be surprised, okay? Because they're getting hundreds of phone calls and they can't expect to be accommodating everyone. So again, if you're really interested, call. But if not, hold off a little bit. But you can call. And the other thing is, if your application is initially incomplete, and let's say you get your CS score, call the program and say, hey, I just got my CS score, I just wanted to update my application. That might be a good excuse for you to, give them a call and for like a legitimate reason. All right? Okay. The other question people ask, and what I was wondering myself, is when to schedule. Should I schedule my interview early on? Should I schedule it later on? Should I schedule somewhere in between? They'll usually give you a time slot, a certain week of certain dates from here to there that you can schedule it, maybe about 4 or 5 dates. And what you need to do is pick a date that is not only good for you, but at the same time, think about it. If you live in, let's say, New York, and you have an interview, let's say, near Florida somewhere, try scheduling all of your Florida interviews in that same area, so you're not flying back and forth from Florida, to New York to Florida over and over again. Make sure, try to see if you can cluster them together, that geographically in the same area. That way, you can get them out of the way and not have too much of a hassle and spend too much on flights, because you will end up spending a lot of money on flights, rental cars, etc. Well, the other thing I'd like to say is that schedule your interview, I would say mid-season, you know, not too early. The reason why, you know, some people say that if you interview too early, they'll forget about you. And there is some truth to that, you know, statement. The reason why is because if each program interviews, let's say, you know, 50 applicants, you know, by the time if you're the second person to interview, they won't really have that great of a recollection of you know, if you are, you know, at the end of the season and they've interviewed 50 people, okay? So I like to say schedule somewhere in between. The reason why I don't say schedule it towards the end, because that would make sense, right? Schedule it to the end so that they remember you the best. No, not really. The reason why is because the programs themselves make their rank lists early, okay? They make their list. It's like a constant list that they're updating about which applicant is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, etc., all the way down to whatever. Okay, and you know this list gets updated a lot. And if you interview really late, then you know what? It'll be really hard to displace, you know, applicant A who's really strong, to kick them out and have them put you in there. Okay. But I'll explain, you know, the whole matching process and ranking system for those of you who don't understand.